Welcome to the Ultimate Face-Off. I'm Britt, and today on Girl Hacked, I'm joined by none other than Player 102, Emilie Bro, from Squid Game The Challenge Season 2. We're both reality stars, both survivors, barely, and both ready to spill the tea on what really went down. Buckle up, because we're bringing the feud, the fun, and maybe even a little forgiveness.
Aww.
Or maybe not. Let's dive in. So let's get into it. Were we in a feud?
I didn't know we were.
Yeah.
And then I found out we were.
So you would say the feud is one-sided?
I would say it's one-sided.
Yeah. Okay. So when I saw you, basically what happened was we went into the games.
Mm-hmm.
Emilie saw this woman and decided that we were mother-daughter.
Yeah.
And in this season, there were undisclosed relationships in the game.
Right.
So everyone's looking around, like there was obvious ones like twins, father-daughter that we knew about fairly early on. But she really wasn't my mom.
No.
So I got really pissed off.
I was wrong.
Because I did not want to get eliminated over something that wasn't true.
Yeah.
So you started that rumor. It got spread around. And then I was instantly like, she's on the list. Like there was no one on the list.
To Brit.
Yeah, there was no one on the list but you.
Death list. Emilie, 102.
Well, I'm making a list. And then when I got out, I was doing my interviews and they asked me, they said, you know, who would you vote out? Would you? And I said, I wouldn't vote anyone out. And then I was like, I would give someone, you know, an advantage or something. And they said, no one. And I was like, Player 102. And they were like, well, that was quick.
That's hilarious.
So while I was talking about you, I said that you were vapid. Valley girl. I said I had all these like great conversations with everyone in the game. Everybody shared like personal stuff. And I was like, we never talked about anything serious. I never got to know you. I never felt like I like got anything from you. And then to make things worse in my interview, I was like, yeah, she's just vapid and she does this slow little creepy doll blink when she looks at you.
I do that though.
Like, no, it's just your way of like, I noticed it at lunch today. You like look and then you kind of look off and then you look and you were just fast blinking and I was so mean and I regretted it.
Oh, it's okay.
So
I do have a stare to me though.
That's what I said. And then when I saw you for the first time after elimination, you came up to me, you gave me this huge hug and I was like, now was I imagining this whole thing? Like it was a different person. So then I started to be like, maybe she just had like a motive in there and like a plan. It was just different. I mean, you were a little drunk, but that's
yeah.
But like I instantly felt like a warmth and I was like, I may have made this whole thing up in my brain. Like, so we talked a little bit about this, but yeah, it's one of those things when you're an adult, feel free to like change your mind sometime. Yeah. Like I got out and I was like, okay, I was actually really wrong about this. And then remember I messaged you and I was like, okay, I have some things I might need to clear the air with. I don't want you to be surprised.
Yeah. You know me, I don't care.
But yeah, you were just a girly swirly.
I was a girly swirly
having a great time. And I was like, she's got it out.
I didn't have anything out for you at all.
And there were so many times. Do you remember when I thought I was going out because of my Ganji?
Yes, absolutely.
She came and sat down next to me.
I did because I really didn't want her to get out.
Yeah.
Because Debbie, your mother,
loved me.
Your mother said, oh, she did so bad at Ganji. And I was like, oh my gosh, it probably is her if everyone keeps saying she did so bad. So I was like, oh, at least I'll be there because I actually really liked you.
They're going to show that scene. You come and sit down. You're like, in my shoulder. And I'm literally like, the what? I know. I'm like, what is going on here? So, yeah, you just seemed different to me. And then I was like, okay, well, you know, one thing about me, I will change my mind if presented with new evidence. And we've connected. Everything's fine. I'm really sorry about what I think. I can apologize for this impersonation. That'll be your new thing.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Merch line, creepy doll blink. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, Emilie, first impression of the dorm set. You went in there, like, what did you feel and see? Because mine, we'll talk about it, but.
So when I first went in, I was like, it looks exactly how it does on television.
Yeah.
Like nothing is different.
100%.
It's legit. And I was ready. I was like, I better win that first comp so we can actually sleep in here tonight.
Yeah. And I don't know if you were in there. One day we were in there and we were like, you know what? Maybe this is just like they want it to look dirty, like it's painted on. They painted the grout filthy. So we got a piece of toilet paper and went and wiped one of the tiles and we're like, oh no, it's disgusting in here. Like people kept joking and saying they haven't cleaned it since like season 1, but it was incredibly immersive, truly.
Oh yeah, like sure.
I just remember going in and the noise of 456 people in one room, the heat, you're on television for the first time. It was an out of body experience.
We have to remember that hundreds of thousands of people applied and we're the most extroverted people in the world, not just the United States.
Yeah.
the world.
They kept giving us that. They were like saying different numbers. They're like, out of so many people, you guys, and I was like, I know, like I've always known I was special, but no, it was really fun. And I think too, something that people will think is if you picture yourself going on reality TV, we know that last season, what was it, 60, 70 million viewers?
I don't even know.
It was a huge number. So you know it's going to be probably an even higher number.
Absolutely.
And you're thinking like, when I go on, I'm going to be so hyper aware of every camera.
And you don't even realize that they're there, like at all.
5 minutes. It takes about 5 minutes. There's no way for your brain to worry about all of that. So it becomes immersive just even because of that.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, I said I thought like maybe when I saw you, I was like, maybe she just had a strategy. And I told them, I said, if anyone came in here with a freaking plan, it was Emilie. I was like, she had a whole game plan. She was like plotting the whole time.
That is hilarious. If anyone came in with one, it was not me.
Yeah.
I just lived my life.
I didn't have a plan either. People kept asking me like, what's your strategy and stuff. I was like, literally until I make like that top 10, I have zero strategy. I just came in to be myself. There's nothing else to do. Like, yeah, the people that we found out the light afterwards, we were all shocked because,
And disappointed.
Yeah, because so many, it kind of just made you feel foolish. So many people truly came in with their heart on their sleeve. It was such an overwhelming experience. You let your guard down so quickly and it shocks everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And it's shocking. Even you'll say things and you're like, oh my gosh, I would say that to my best friend. I wouldn't say it to 70 million people, but it happens so quickly. And so to find out that someone else was manipulating you and lying the whole time. Yeah. Didn't love that. Yeah.
Wait, can I go over the story of how I thought you and Debbie were momming?
Yeah.
Okay. I immediately get to the hotel and we have to go do our headshots. And that's where I met you and Debbie. You guys were sat next to each other and you looked exactly like each other to me. I was like, immediately in my head without even you guys talking, I was like, this is a mother and daughter. You guys look like each other. And you're like, like you guys were like, look like you've been with each other for a while. And then you guys started talking and you guys were like talking about like a past story. It sounded like a childhood story. But apparently it was just, you guys had already met. But in my head, I was like, oh, wow, they definitely are mother and daughter and they're doing a horrible job hiding it.
We're just in there. I'm like, well, and to make it worse in Catch, Debbie actually, I was like, I feel like there's something in my nose. She's like, there's some skin. And she starts picking my nose. And I'm like, now they're really going to think we're, what else are you going to do? Like lick your finger and like smudges off me?
Yeah. So then I was like, oh, you're mother and daughter, aren't you? Like I asked you guys straight up, oh, you're mother and daughter, aren't you? And you guys were like, no. And in my head, I'm like, well, they're probably lying. But I never wanted to eliminate you. I just thought like, that's kind of hilarious if they are.
And we, one of the reasons that I said I was so upset was because Debbie, like we really connected. And then after that, I was like, if I'm in a group, like I told you, we were not communicating after that. You saw it. Debbie would come up and I'd be like, hey, well, now I'm going to leave. If Debbie wasn't there and I was there, I'd see her coming up and I'm like, now I have to go. You have to go. We were really avoiding each other. And I started to feel like kind of depressed. Like she was like, I don't have friends.
I ruined it. And
that's what I told them in the interview. I said, Debbie.
And she was constipated the whole time.
Okay, she said that. She's like, there's going to be clips of me just being like, I need to go poo-poo. I need to go poo-poo. I need to go. I was like, you never stopped talking.
I didn't go either the whole time I was in there.
Yeah.
Real truth.
The real truth.
Dirty talk.
No, I was so scared of cameras. And I was just, I don't think your digestive system is like locked up. It's like one.
Well, yeah. And I'm like soup shy already. Like imagine putting us on a reality show.
And then the food.
Yeah, it wasn't it.
Yeah, the food was not going to help that at all. They were feeding us slop. It was awful. Okay, what was your favorite set of all the sets?
Mingle was definitely exactly how it is on the real Netflix show. I was like, this is the real deal. Like we're in it. We get to lock the door and everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
What was bizarre too is walking into that set. It was so weird because everything before was like you were super nervous and you had no idea what to expect. Like you really don't know until seconds before when they open that thing and you're all looking at each other like, wait, what does this mean? What is that? And there were some like Catch that we were looking at the wall for clues. No one knows what we're going to happen. But Mingle, we obviously knew. Yeah. But walking in, there definitely was like something ominous about it. And then once you got through one game, you were like, this is going to destroy friendships, lovers, people. Like, it changed everything for sure. Another question, what people are going to think, there's so many moments that we kept saying, we're like, people are going to think this is scripted. People are going to think that they told us was it scripted?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like not one word is scripted.
Nobody was told to do anything, say anything. Like that's what's shocking is some of these moments you're going to see, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like there were so many times that we were like, they're going to think this is so fake and phony.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, Emilie, which player would you never want to be stuck with?
Are you ready for this one? My God.
Looks at
Back to New Jersey.
Well, I looked at you because I'm like, because we just talked about this. Sorry, twins, but you two.
Yeah.
I could discuss the story.
Go ahead.
So I don't know,
Twins.
they're gonna. Yeah, okay.
Which one?
Yeah, it does both of them. So I remember I was having a conversation with, I think it was 432, and we were talking about, because I'm a business owner and the boys do YouTube, and I was talking about how I own a business, and he was like, oh, I really want to start like a merch company. Like, how do you start an LLC? Like, la la la. So obviously I've started a million LLCs in my life. So I'm like talking about how you start an LLC, the advertising, how to start a business, la la la. So we're having like a good conversation. And I was like, oh, I'm getting close to these guys. That's why I voted to keep them in. I voted to keep him in. And after I found out what he said about me, I was pissed. I was like, really? I voted to keep you in after you said that?
They worked you.
But yeah, so we were having a good conversation on the cement. Mind you, you don't have anywhere to sit unless you're going to sit in a bed. And that's awkward. I'm not going to sit with him in a bed, especially after what he said. But yeah. So we were sitting on the cement. And obviously we're sitting there for so long. So when I go to get up, I like put my hand on his thigh to like push myself off the ground. And I guess I shouldn't have done that. But I'm just a touchy person as it is. And so he just mistook it for flirting. And
We're on the thigh.
Groping, but gropes. Yeah, he was like, she was like, just right there in the crease.
I know. No, it was like right. It was probably his knee. I put my hand on his knee and put myself up. And then that was that. And then he told everybody I was flirting with him and he had a girlfriend.
Who did he tell?
Just everybody, because I heard about it from everybody after the show was over.
Okay.
Then everybody told me. I was like, because honestly, I'm a very confrontational person. And if no, I am. And if somebody were to
No.
I am. Yes, I am. If somebody
believe it.
If somebody were to have told me that in the show, I would have gone up to the twins and been like, hey, like, you guys know I have a crush on Carter, right? Yeah. That's another thing. I had a crush on Carter. Yeah. He had a crush on me too. But yeah.
True. Everybody knew about that immediately. And then we're like, did they have time to like, consummate that or anything? No. Carter went home day 1, day 2, unfortunately for you. That would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
You guys could have really played that out.
Yeah.
Did you miss your phone?
Not at all. I am so surprised. Actually, I was a little bit surprised, but not at the same time, because when, like, let's say we're in a real life situation and you guys are both on your phones, then I'm going to miss my phone. But none of us had our phone. So it was like, all we all have to do is just talk to each other. And it honestly made it fun. And I honestly wish that we didn't have phones in the real world. It made it so much better.
That's what was weird. It really, like, me and Alex are old enough to like know what that was like, but you really did, jump in the lake, walk around after dark, like do so many different fun things with your friends and people and connect with people in a different way. And it was crazy because so many of the younger people like you guys, you haven't actually even experienced that yet. Yeah. So going in there, it was probably much more emotional and made such a bigger impact on you guys because like we remember what that was like. And it was kind of going back to being like, yeah, we got to start putting our phone away. That's nuts. Like connect with people so quickly. And so there were so many times when you would be in an uncomfortable situation and like in real life, we would have been like, oh, let me just text real quick. Or we're always like looking down and scrolling while people are trying to talk to us. We didn't have that luxury. August said, I said, it's so crazy how you can just be yourself in here. And like, you really are kind of like letting your guard down. And he said, we're all our true selves because we don't have our phones. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Why was that so iconic? August, like it was true though.
I love not having my phone.
Yeah. And
my favorite part.
It was the best. It was the best.
Well, and you're real estate. Alex does real estate. So he's on his phone constantly. There's a bunch of social media people that were in there. They're on their phones all the time. And they were like, wow, what a break. This was nice.
Yeah, it was great.
What happened when you were crying and having your little mint TB?
Oh my gosh. So I crashed out. Once on the show.
What day was that? Was it early on?
It was literally day 2. Yeah,
it was pretty early.
It was day 2. And then after that crash out, I was like, I'm good. I'm back. I'm ready. So my crash out was basically, since there was so many people playing the 6-legged race that it took so long to film. Mm-hmm. So they were like, okay, well, you guys basically have a day of doing nothing. And, Yeah. And so we were just sitting on the cement floor. I was starving. I eat a lot in the real world. A lot of food. Like, if you guys don't know, I'm in the meat industry. I eat constantly. A lot of food.
Just bratwurst, though. Mainly bratwurst. You're just like...
And so I didn't have that. And especially because I couldn't eat that slop in the morning.
Oh, the morning slop. People are going to ask what the worst meal was. It will always be that because most people could not choke it down. And you're thinking, it's just oatmeal that's not flavored. Of course you can eat that. No. Even as starving as you were, There was
You can't
the
eat it.
texture, the consistency.
It tastes like it smelled like a booger and it tasted like a booger.
It was so crazy. It was so gelatinous. And I would literally have my water bottle at the ready and I'd be like 3 scoops and do this.
I couldn't.
One thing about me is like, I knew it was going to be a while before meals and you have the heightened stress and all these things going on in there. And I was like, I'm going to puke or pass out. I always eat something small in the morning. And I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
No coffee, the no caffeine thing.
No caffeine.
You know this,
I don't drink
you know
coffee.
this ahead of time and they tell you like, stop the caffeine. And then when it really hits and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So my crash out was I was just a mixture of starving and we had the cement to sit on. And that was for the whole day.
Yeah, I was over there and I was like, get her out. Like, perfect. She's weakening. Cut her when she's down.
Yeah, I was so hungry. And then once we ate, I was totally fine. And that was it. And then I was totally great the rest of the time. I just had to adjust to not eating as much as I do.
Yeah, it took time. It was so funny because most of us girls, like I went home, my underwear didn't fit. Like we all lost weight. And Lizzie kept saying, no, I've never had this much food in my life. Like I'm like, this is too much food. I can never finish it. And I was like, but the weird thing was we actually couldn't finish our meals. Most of us couldn't finish it. It was a lot of food.
It was a lot of bland, boring, nasty food that you don't really want to eat.
Something about you got to a place with the textures. Did you eat all of your 10 every day?
I mean, not breakfast, but yeah, lunch and dinner.
Really? Okay. Well, I guess that's true. A lot of the guys were going around asking for scraps.
Oh, I gave Leon my meal every meal.
And Sean said that. He said, I've never had so much food in my life and such good sleep.
Yeah.
I was so jealous of him. Do you remember Alex? Alex was at the top bunk. Sean was across from you. He'd go up at the end of the night, head hits the pillow and just completely out. And I was like down there, like seething. Like,
I never said this to anyone, at least I don't think. He talks in his sleep. I would turn over and like listen to full on conversation Sean was having. Sean, you know I love you. You're my favorite person in there, but
that's iconic.
you talk in your sleep. But
oh no. What? Sleep with one eye open, Sean. I'm like, tell us what he said. No. Okay. If you could bring one luxury item into the game, what would it have been?
Oh my gosh. Well, the showering situation was so rough. I wish I would just have my deodorant.
Okay.
Honestly.
The deodorant was a hysterical situation. Every day people were helping. It's a giant bottle to spray and it's attached to the wall. So you have to like pull the cord.
It was so
out
bad.
and trying to
So
like
jealous.
label. And some people would just hold it for you and you're like, get this, get
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd be like, okay,
the pits.
okay. But then it was like
so
so
gross.
nasty and like just the
It had
feeling
no
of
scent to it. Nothing had a scent except the lotion. The lotion was a little bit scented.
I never used lotion once.
Oh, that's why people were smelling good.
Oh, really? I learned about the dang lotion. I didn't learn about no lotion
The
hack.
tap.
I
Yeah,
didn't learn about that lotion hack either.
really. The lotion
There was
was
another guy who
highly
definitely
scented.
learned about that.
There was one guy. We're not going to blast him on the pod, but there was one man in there.
Oh, I know.
That I was like, he's
European.
Yeah, I was like, he's either not going to get eliminated or he's going to get eliminated because nobody could stand to be around him. So it was like, whatever, as long as you're not talking to me.
I actually was next to him and I thought it was me. I was like, oh my God, do I smell that bad? Do I smell that bad? Do I smell that bad?
I was like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
my gosh.
Same. It was really bad. And that's the crazy thing too. You had to become nose blind because it was overwhelming.
Yeah. Oh, we all became nose blind in there. We were
Okay.
disgusting.
My luxury item,
Yeah.
Diet Coke. Like
Oh my
I would have
gosh.
done anything.
Yeah, that I didn't even think about food.
What about you, Alex? What would you have brought in? Hair gel?
probably a great answer for me. Thank you so
swear to
much.
God, if you say hair gel.
You know, I
Of all
washed
the
my
things.
hair because I needed it to stay kaput. Or
He was a prima donna. There was a couple guys in there that it was like day 7 and they're like, I'm not washing it. I can't let this helmet like puff up. And that was really funny. Would it be hair gel, really? That would have just set your mind, did he?
I don't think
That would have just given you peace of mind?
I don't think so. Just some real food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some real.
Okay. That would be good. After we saw your social media, Emily, a lot of us were like, okay, so you're definitely not middle class.
Yeah.
See, with the Porsche and the handbags and stuff. How do you think that will affect what people think of you on the show? Do you think people will be like, why were you even on there?
Well, actually, going back to like our first thing, did I have a game plan going in? I had no game plan, but I did not want to say what I did for a living because if I told people what I did, they'd be like, she has money, let's get her out now.
Yeah.
And valid. That's totally
I think
valid.
that's so true. You would have put the biggest target on your back. And had I known that, I would have spread that rumor. And
Yeah.
I could have just been dueling. Yeah. I'm like, she's low key. Well, actually, I did catch on to you super quick because
How?
because you told me that you were going to come stay at Amangiri. And I was like, so you're going to spend
Is that some fancy place?
That's where I work. That's where I do the hair and makeup for
I'm glad to keep it a secret.
the top 1% of wealth in the
It's a
country.
really expensive.
So I was like,
work that.
so you are going to stay there knowing that it ranges from $500 to $7,500 a night. And I was like, she's confused. I at first was like, oh, honey, you're thinking La Quinta. No, you're not thinking of
Wrong
Almond
place.
Oh, I had that book. I had my Almond stay booked, and then there was a huge weather thing, and we couldn't drive down there.
So I was like, wait a second.
Like that's
And I was like, this is a little red flaggy. And then I was like, maybe she's just saying that. Like,
There were all those people there that we knew were wealthy that.
yeah, Kurt.
Exactly.
Kurt's let it slip.
Exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
now, what'd you say about that square footage? What'd you say about that?
Oh, I know, they're hilarious. But yeah,
And
so
some people's professions, you were just like clocking.
yeah. No, I couldn't. That was my thing going in. I didn't want to tell anyone what I did. But then when I got to know everybody and I made such close bonds, I was just telling people. I was telling everybody.
Yeah.
You can't keep a secret.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. Oh, it's crazy. So Squid Games is so different from other reality shows. What part was the hardest mentally for you? Like just mentally, no food, no phone, bathrooms, cameras.
Honestly, the not showering. I can't stand when I smell bad, and I smelled bad, and I was like, oh my god, no.
Yes.
I was like, don't come near me. You smell.
For the girls, most of us have never gone a day without a shower unless you're like camping. Or for me, it was like, okay, not only are you going days without showering,
You're also stressed, so you're sweating.
yeah, the stress sweat is another thing, but sleeping in those same clothes, sleeping in the same filthy clothes over and over.
I remember in the
Gross.
game,
So gross.
Britt was the one person who was brushing her teeth constantly.
Constantly walking around.
Was I?
Yes, you were like, this toothpaste sucks. I'm gonna get a cavity.
Okay, I'm actually crashing out over this because so I have this. Okay, I'm going to share a very quick embarrassing story. So I have an obsession with teeth. I always have. I think
You said that in the show.
I thought I was going to be a dentist. That was my whole goal growing up. I even like, when you write a letter to yourself and you're like, teacher mails it to you 10 years later. I was like,
I want to be a dentist.
your way to setting up your dental student. I was like, well, my parents are poor and they wouldn't put me through college. So that didn't happen. So next best thing was bleaching people's hair instead of teeth. No, I'm like, I can fix different parts of your ugly, honey.
Yeah.
No, but I really wanted to be a dentist. So I used to cut out pictures of people's teeth when I was in high school out of magazines,
gosh.
like serial killer
wild.
shield. I would cut them out and like look at them. Spooky. I would cut them out and like look at them and just like I loved people's teeth. I remember my husband, like the first date I was on, I was like dabbing on his teeth. So that's so funny you said that because when I got home, I was like, no, I must be like malnourished. My gums are bleeding. And I talked about it in the bathroom to numerous people. I was like, is anyone else's gums are bleeding?
Yeah, and I was like,
so
no,
Russian.
Britt, we're all good.
And Justin was eating that toothpaste. He got so hungry one day.
That's
He had the tube and he was like, just taking little hits on
He's from Kentucky. No offense.
wild.
He's eating squirrel. That's like the least of his worries.
Wild.
But he was eating the toothpaste just to get like a little snack.
Oh my gosh, that's like crazy.
And that's a smart move because they would have to refill the toothpaste if you were
Yeah, you would have to.
just eating the lip balm and everything.
Can't be good.
I'm not even like a mint ice cream person because I was like toothpaste.
Oh yeah. No, I was all about teeth. No wonder my teeth were. And then I did go to the dentist when I came out and I was like, it's everything okay? Check it out.
I'm like, oh,
Like that was like one of the.
I haven't been to the dentist in I don't even know how long.
I can tell. I'm just kidding.
Oh my word.
Brent
I'm just kidding. I'm like, I wasn't going to say anything until I was on camera, but no, just kidding. Okay. What was the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in the games?
The most embarrassing thing that happened in the game. Well, besides my little crying moment. And then after I heard someone was saying like they thought I was fake crying. That was totally real.
Yeah, I could tell it was real. It was like crying. Yeah, I was ugly crying. We knew it was real.
So that was, I guess, I honestly don't think that was, I don't get embarrassed though. That's the thing. I don't think that was embarrassing. Like, sure, I cried, whatever.
She's like, I feel zero shame about it.
But if I have to watch if they show the twins saying that I was flirting with them, like that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because I was not trying to flirt. I'm just a touchy person. Like,
Yeah. Well, one of the twins, I did warn him. I was like, just so you know, remember they show like little weird, embarrassing moments in the bathrooms. And I was like, you were in there picking at your face and they're going to show you like popping a pimple in there. And he was like, oh my gosh, I hope not. And I was like, hopefully that comes.
yeah, no, I don't get embarrassed, but I just hope they don't. I mean, if they do show it, then please, because I was not all touching up on his thigh. That's crazy.
Can't wait to see this episode.
You're just going to keep.
I'm going to be like,
slow motion.
Yeah, it's going to be, and she's just going to be slowly raising up.
Definitely slow motion.
Okay.
Oh my God.
If you could go back to day one of filming, what advice would you give yourself?
oh my gosh. I don't think I would play the game differently at all. I had a great time.
Even Debbie? You're
Even
still going to come for Debbie?
No.
You're like, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm all.
I mean, it was funny. Like, I actually thought you were mother and daughter.
Okay.
I was wrong. And now I'm going to look stupid. So, but go off.
Hardest part of the whole experience.
The hardest part was the no showering, honestly.
Okay.
I hated it.
Best part.
Best part was meeting everybody. I made so many friends, met up with so many people after the show, been having a blast.
Yeah.
And you get so close to people and you just don't think you are.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great thing to bring up. Actually, I'm sure we'll cover it in many other areas, but people, I remember watching season 1 and being like, I rolled my eyes so many times. I'm not an emotional person. I don't cry a lot, except around, like, my husband's the only person that's probably seen me cry in the last like 10 years. And I was like, what? These people are so lame, so pathetic. I'm like, you're weak, you're stupid. Like, how could you get this close? No, when you have 24 hours a day, no phone, you're in a highly stressful situation. You end up, like we said, divulging information you didn't mean to. Sharing parts of yourself is so much easier to get to know somebody. And unfortunately, and you find something in common with everyone. Did you find that? Like,
Oh, yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
oh, I haven't talked to that guy. I don't care. I'd go over there and then I'd be like, what?
Like, everyone is so great.
Yeah. I told them, I said it numerous times in there. And I said, we could heal the country if we put like all the world's leaders in here and just made them do actual Squid Game. Like,
Yeah.
you have to work together, figure it out. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, for real.
it's pretty crazy. And that is the other thing. The team bonding is such a big part of it because you're like, okay, I might actually have a chance at winning $4.56 million. And then there's all these people with you and you don't want to let your team down. And you become very, like, once you have a huge team boost, you all win together. It's like this collective high and you're all just like
fun.
bonded. The other thing that I've been thinking about a lot since I've been out has been that all these reality shows that I keep saying, it's like, oh, you know, the grand prize, the 150,000, grand prize of 200,000, grand prize of $1 million. I'm like, holy shit. I don't think I realized until I got out how,
Like, you could have won 4.56.
yes, how much money it truly was. Because it's like, well, everybody wins stuff on reality show. No, this reality show,
Insane.
it is a huge amount of money comparatively. Like,
Yeah.
you see, like Survivor, like the things people have to go through from like weeks and months at a time
For
to like,
1 million.
yeah. And it's like, what? And then after taxes, what does that even leave? Like, I don't know. Stop.
You're La Quinta place.
Yeah.
That place.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
I'm on Gary.
You can go to La Quinta. Yeah, that's where you're going to work and live. Okay. If you won, what did you want to spend the money on?
Well, as you know, I love business. I love starting businesses. I own a meat company. I own a jewelry company. I really did want to start a restaurant.
Okay.
So obviously with the meat industry, it kind of coincides.
Yep.
But my grandpa, who started the meat company, started a restaurant back when he was younger and it failed. And so he always would talk about that. And I'm like, that'd be so cool to just like start a restaurant in his honor. He's going to be 85.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that he would like love that. So I wanted to start like a little Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Just some business, something fun.
Okay.
Nothing boring.
Just low key, something fun, just like starting a corporation. Exactly. Just like a CEO type thing. Okay. Was there a moment that you almost quit?
Yeah,
The food moment.
that crash out cry.
Okay. Were you mad when you left and what were you feeling?
No, I wasn't mad when I left. I was happy that I got that far. Cause honestly, before going into the game, I told my parents, like, my goal is to just get past game 1.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of people say the same thing. Like, there were so many things about this too that were so out of your control. It was like the people you got put with in pentathlon, one person could have ruined it for the whole team.
Yeah.
There were so many things that were up to chance. So it was like this feeling going into like, I could do the best performance ever and still go home. So yeah, I think we all thought that. We're like, oh, and we all thought it was going to be red light, green light. We were all like, it's red light, green light, 100%. We've been practicing, be prepared to be cold. Like we were ready. And then it wasn't, of course. Nothing was expected at all,
No.
which was actually crazy. We all kept guessing and you'd go into a room and be like, stand where? Okay, they're splitting us up into groups. We were never right about any of it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we all thought like, yeah.
No, it was crazy. I was just like, every single time there was a game, I was like, oh my gosh, we're one step closer.
Yeah, we all just wanted to make it past game 1.
Yeah.
But what's funny is even if we did make it only, we just made it past game 1, who knows if we would have seen ourselves on TV.
Right.
Exactly. What's crazy is there's 456 people.
And like, it's
some
cut in
of us will
half.
be watching it and be like, I was on that show. And they're like, no, you weren't. And
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
like,
have
we
to
didn't see you.
You're gonna have to scroll through and save a 3-second.
Yeah, like literally a 3-second clip.
That's my biggest fear.
No, you laughed.
That you never get screen
You
time.
lasted as long as we both did.
I think that your fight with Justin, probably your little moment with him, that'll probably air. So you're probably good.
Great. A fight.
Was there any adrenaline chasing afterwards? I think a lot of us came out and we've talked about this. You go into something that is your cortisol's through the roof, your adrenaline's through the roof for such a long period of time. And when you get back, there's like this big letdown. And then you're like it's just a really hard thing to get back to normal. What did you have any adrenaline seeking behavior or like, I immediately want to apply for another show?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like right after the show, because when you're in the show, it's like there's a million cameras on your face. You're all mic'd up. There's a million people that you've never met. You're literally on TV. You're on Netflix. Like that's crazy. And then you get off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. Like I have to get on another show ASAP. Yeah. And like, obviously we're in contract and we can't apply to any shows right now, but it's like the second that we're allowed to apply, I'm applying for every single thing that I could apply for, except for I can't do Survivor. Like if they like contacted me and they were like, Emily, do you want to be on Survivor? I'm like, why would you choose me? Because you know I'm gonna like fail at this because I am not that girl. But I would go on, but I would not apply for Survivor. I can't. I love my food too much.
I would go on alone. Like I watch that show all the time where they lounge in the middle. Like
The show would never make it.
I've never seen that one.
I like low-key kind of think I would, because one of the things I'm best at, it's literally the opposite of you, blonde and brunette. I'm really good at starving. Like there are people we always
You in the middle of the woods with bear.
That's insane. No, she would die.
But here's the thing. They let you bring like 10 survival items or something with you. One of mine would be a toothbrush. One of mine would be a toothpaste. And they'd be like,
I'm just out there like gums. Oh my God.
but no, I'm so good at being hungry. Like
It's wild.
I did fitness competitions a long time ago and that like trained me for it. But like there are people, we always joke about this in relationships. There's people that are hangry people that are so angry when they're hungry. And there's people that are like when they're tired. I'm the person who, if I don't sleep, I'm like so angry, so short tempered, but you could starve me for days. And I'd be like, okay,
I'm the opposite. I need my food.
yeah,
That's wild. But no, my dream show is Big Brother. I know I'm going to get on it one day. You will.
we're manifesting it right here. You heard it first.
Oh, that's the alarm.
Yeah, you're good. Why was it Squid Game the challenge? Like, did you watch the show and like, why apply for this show?
So I'll start with from the very beginning. So I've been watching Big Brother since I was a child, like with my childhood best friends and my mom, and that's like our show. And so I always told myself, like when I turned 21, I just can't wait to apply to Big Brother. Like I don't care to drink, I don't care to gamble. Like I just want to apply to be on Big Brother.
Yeah.
And so then with the businesses and life, I got busy, and then I thought about it, and I was like, why don't I just apply? Hello. And so I applied to Big Brother. I got a Zoom. And I was like, oh my God, I might get on Big Brother. And then didn't pass. But they were like, you're really good at this. Like you have the personality. You should apply to other shows. So I looked at other shows applying. And the one that I found, it was called Deal or No Deal Island.
Oh, okay.
And so I applied to that. And then I got a call back like the next day from a guy, and he was like, from a producer, and he was like, so we're done casting for that show, but we would love you to apply to Destination X, which is on right now.
Oh, cool.
And so I applied to Destination X. I got the Zoom, didn't pass. So all the secret sauce is passing the Zoom. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just apply to one more. And it was Squid Game. And when I applied, I was like, there's no shot that I'm getting on this show because I have money.
Have you seen it yet? Had you seen the show? Okay.
I watched the show. But I was like, there's no chance that I'm getting on the show because the show is literally fighting for money. And, you know, the real show is about broke people fighting for money. Right. And I was like, there's no way they're going to cast me because I'm not broke. And I made that like it's so obvious. And I even asked my casting producer, I was like, do we even have a shot at this because I have money? And he was like, oh, don't even worry about that. They don't base it off that.
Yeah. And I think it's actually more interesting because number one, it does put a bigger target on your back. People are angry when they find out nobody's going to root for you to win. And if you did win, they're going to be infuriated.
Exactly.
Like I don't think it matters.
I thought about it. Like I was like, don't even think about like winning because like what are the odds? But I was like, I came to the point where I was like, if I made final two, I think I would have given it up because I don't I don't need the money. And I just would have wanted to do that. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you only 21?
I'm 24. Wow. Like I said, I waited a few years and then I applied.
Were you the youngest person on the show?
No, I think there was somebody. Well, when I was on the show, I was 23 because I turned 24 in March.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in the show, I was 23, and then there was someone who was 22.
Okay.
Tyler.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That was it. Just me and Tyler.
What was the first thing you did when you came home?
Oh my goodness. The first thing I did when I came home, we had just a welcome back dinner at my favorite restaurant with all my friends, my dad, and Carter was there.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was fun. We had a blast. So then we went out to the club.
Was that dinner or what did you get in the airport?
Oh, well, actually the first actual thing that I ate was pizza with Leon because we were in the hotel waiting to go home and we were like, let's go get our first meal. And it was pizza with Leon.
Okay.
And Tiffany. Yeah.
That's cute. How do you personally decompress? So this doesn't really have anything to do with the show or with Squid Game as a challenge, but I like to ask people on this podcast. I think it's fascinating to find out how people like decompress in their daily life. What is your like go-to thing that you do?
Honestly, hang out with my friends. Okay. I've been friends with all of my friends since like 5th grade. So it's been like 14 plus years.
Okay.
Of like being friends with these people.
That brings you down.
Yeah. So
if you're upset.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's just have like a hot tub night at my house and all my friends will come over. And that's just like my happy place. Okay. Hot tubbing at my house.
Okay. What has changed since you went home?
Honestly, nothing. I mean, I've made so many new friends, so it's like a lot of more traveling to be able to see these people and hang out and have so much fun. And obviously the anticipation, and obviously nothing much has changed because the show hasn't come out.
Now that you've been on reality TV, what do you wish that people knew about the experience?
I wish people knew how difficult it actually was, because I feel like people are just like, oh, they just either get cast, they just apply real quick, they just go real quick, come back, little fun time. But like, no, it's a whole process. Like my casting process was like 6 months. I know some people's was a year and a half.
Yes.
Like that is insane.
I heard that too. And also they do kind of let you know right before you go. Not a lot of people didn't have a ton of like time
at all.
I don't know if we can get into specifics, but some people had days, some people had weeks, a few people had months, it seems like. So a lot of us, it's like, you have to be ready, and they remind you a lot, but you have to be ready to leave your entire life behind you. And the difference too that I keep thinking about is people on reality shows generally have their phones available to them.
Yeah.
Literally think about leaving your husband, your wife, your kids.
Yeah, no talking to family. You don't know what time it is.
Zero contact. You can't email them. You can't call them. Yeah, and you never know what time of day it is. You're on a crazy film schedule. You're not getting like 8 to 10.
And if there's any current events happening in the outside world, like you don't know.
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
This is the funniest thing. When I got out, I asked like the driver of our car, like, oh my gosh, what are the recent events that have happened? And they say, well, Beyonce won Country Album of the Year, so everyone is pissed. And Kanye West's wife walked the red carpet naked.
Yes, I heard that too. That's so crazy.
That's the first thing I was like, is nothing else happening? The plane crashes. That
helicopter and the plane crash. That was pretty awful to find out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how do you feel now that we've talked? When I reached out to you and asked about doing the podcast, I told you I had talked poorly about you in my interviews and then I needed to clear the air. You said I probably deserved that. I was worried that your feelings would be hurt after, and I'm glad we had a chance to talk. Ultimately, we weren't in the same alliance or group. We were group adjacent. So we had some interaction, but we weren't really on the same team necessarily. When I saw you after, I told you, like, how was I misreading all that? Was I totally wrong? And I think a big part of having adult friendships and relationships is knowing when you're wrong or misguided, or even just confused, and being willing to accept that your perception of things can be wrong. That's like pretty weird. We're all like in our own reality and we're like, no, this is what happened. And, you know, they always say that like there's the truth and then what is the actual truth? No, there's like there's two sides of the story and then there's the truth or something like that.
Yeah.
But all I know is we didn't sleep for days. Eating was hard. There was a lot of stress. And I think the sleep made me very emotional and vulnerable, specifically me. Like I went so many days without sleeping, and I'll harp on it so many times, but so many people were able to get just a couple hours here and there. And I was genuinely up for days and days and days.
I don't know how you did it.
And it just made me like tweaking.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it.
So I think we've officially put that feud to rest. And honestly, I'm so glad we did. We survived Squid Game, the challenge, and now we have survived each other. It's been amazing to clear the air and get real about everything. Thanks for being open, and thanks for coming on Girl Hack to share your side of the story. Cheers to no more drama, at least not between us.
Of course.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Amazing.